Hello, welcome back, my friends and test takers for Toefl exam. And today I'm gonna talk with you about my experience with the speaking section. What are you expecting? What did I do in order to pass my speaking section? And as I told you before, I got in this section about 24, 25, I got 28 once, and the one I passed, I got 23, and I only required for 22, 21. So, what did I do in the listening section? You will find that listening section uh, contains of 2 or 3 clusters. Okay, each cluster have one conversation and 2 lecture, academic lecture. And when you listen to the narrator while speaking in the beginning of the question, he gives you like the first important tip. While he says, the narrator will say, listen carefully to the next dialogue between student and professor, or listen carefully to a lecture in the biology class. Listen carefully to blah blah blah. So here the main point, and if you got the idea, you will be able to answer all questions when you get this technique and this strategy in your mind. What is the strategy? Listen carefully. Listen. What does it mean to listen? Listen, like, don't talk between. Listen means pay attention to the speaker. Know what he's saying or she's saying. Listen. There is a time for you to reply toward what you had listened. So listen. Use your ears and your mind connectedly to listen, to pay attention. Second thing is the keyword is carefully. Carefully here with care and fully. Care means you are caring about this thing. You are interested about this thing. And come back to the first step in the reading. Engage. Find your interest. So here, care. Listen care with care. What does it mean? That means that I want to know what is going on with this lecture. I'm curious. I want to know what does the student want from his teacher. What does the teacher ask him? Why does the student ask this question? And in the middle of the lecture, when a student say a question, you say, wow, that's an important question. That's an excellent question. Yeah, I'm wondering what is the answer. So you care about the conversation. You listen, you find interest, I care about it, I'm gonna pay attention. And the second thing in care fully, means fully, wholly, means your mind, your eyes, your ears, and your hands, everything, your emotion, engage with this lecture fully. All of you onto this lecture, all of you into this article or whatever you listen to. So you engage with them like you're standing with them, right? Exactly, you're in the class. So, and go with the narrator and go with the speaker wherever he leads you. Wherever. For example, if you're talking about the deep ocean, go with him, dive with him into the deep ocean, and imagine you're in the deep ocean and this is the fish. He's talking about the adaptation of this fish in the deep ocean. There's in the ocean the lack of oxygen, lack of light, and a lack of food. So how they live, and go for it. Wow, I'm wondering how they can live. And there is strategies and there's adaptation. Okay, I'm interested. And when you go to the second lecture for the second question, they're talking about wilderness. Go with him. So forget about the water and deep ocean and go with him to the wilderness and savannah, desert or wherever, and what is going on over there, how zebra live in these circumstances, how before and how now, and is the comparison between zebra in ancient days and zebra nowadays in the savannah liver and wilderness, what's going on over there, and engage with this story and love it. Then the second or the third lecture, he's traveling with you to the space, and he's talking about meteorites and how the meteorites and how the planets formed, and how many planets circle around the sun, or what theory this, and circle with him in space and travel with him to space. So fully go engage with the lecture and see, like, put yourself as a student in the first line and wants to understand what is going on. I want to know about the lecture. You're comparing about two things. Okay, when I take notes, I'm gonna make a line and take, oh, okay, you're talking about day, you're talking about night. So in the day people can do more activities and there is light and blah 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 blah. Okay, in the night people prefer to go to sleep, people prefer to do indoor activities and blah 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 blah. So you go for this comparison. Okay, when you find comparison, it's important. You have to write the comparison between these two. If you find a question asks, if you find a student asks question, that's important, and you have to write the answer of the professor. What is the answer of the professor? How did he answer this question? Did he tell him a story? Did he tell him an example? Did he tell him, look by yourself, do research, and you will give me the answer next time? How did he answer the question? The third thing, after you listen the question, when you are like practicing, after you listen the question and you answered all questions and listen to the lecture or the conversation, you may find you correctly answered a few questions and some are not. What to do after reviewing? I encourage you, and this is what I did, to try to read the transcript. You will find transcript of the same lecture and run it and try to read with the lecturer. When you run and read, oh, you will gain more advantage. First, you will listen the pronunciation of these specific words. So when you listen to these words in the exam, you will not be shocked. What does it mean when he say, I haven't gotten this. I would have eaten food before I go to work. What I would have? I would have eaten. Okay, you will find it written. So you will, okay, this is how they pronounce this complex sentence together, this compound sentence together, and this is how they say it. So first you will, okay, your eyes will be open. So next time you don't have to read all this transcript, because you already, I know that you will choose parts of this transcript. Okay, I'm gonna listen to it again because I misunderstand it, because I didn't know what he's talking about. So let's go back, read while you're listening to the lecturer, match them together, you will gain full understanding to it. I promise you, you will get your score very soon when you will do that. But when you just listen to something and answer, oh, I answered 3 out of 5. Okay. I answered 2 out of 5. Okay, and that's it, and go? No, it's not about how many did you answer. It's about how many actively answered. When you got a topic, you may, in the exam, this topic is maybe it takes you about 2 minutes to answer and 2 minutes to listen to the lecture, so it's total 4 minutes. But in practicing, in real life, in real training, you may need 1 hour for one lecture to listen, to answer, review yourself, get the transcript, listen it to it again, and compare what you listen to what you read, and the speed of the speaker saying, and the pronunciation of the words. And also you may find a very good, like a very good sentence that you may use it in your answer, when you answer in the speaking question, or you may use it in the writing lecture. So you're making your own template. Find, oh, this student asks this one, he expresses his opinion by saying this. So usually the template on the online is like blah blah blah, I'm gonna change it to this part, to this one. Okay, in the exam, when you try this one, first you get an advantage that you tried something new. It's not everyone do, but or everyone does. It's something you like, you're only doing this. So one advantage. Second advantage, you improved your vocabulary, improved your listening abilities, you improved your expands your knowledge about it. Okay, so read what you listen after you finish the article, or you finish the lecture, or you finish the conversation. What to listen while you're listening carefully about this lecture or the conversation? What you focus about? Focus about the first sentence, from the first sentence to the last sentence, from the first second of the record to the last second. Why? In the first second, you may find why the student visited his teacher. Hey teacher, I came here today to discuss you about my assignment. May I delay it to the next week? Or can I get the permission of that? So, what is the topic is talking about? A student wants expanding time to finish his assignment. Easy. That's from the first sentence, in the first second. So if you lost your attention, you lost the first question. 1 point. Boom. But if you paid your attention, you gain 1 point. Perfect. Second, focus if there is a student asks any question. When a student asks question, that's important. Right. What's the question about? Hey teacher, you said that, but I read in the book that this technique happens vice versa. Why you're saying, what is the conflict? And the professor will explain, it's not vice versa, but when it's happening this during temperature 30, but what you're talking about and you read in the article happens when the temperature is under 30. So you now know. So when you get a question, this happened when, oh, above 30. This happened when? Under 30. For example, I'm giving you an example. So when a student asks question, focus. What is the question? And the professor answer. What is the professor answer? How the professor answered him? Okay? That's important. Also, while you're listening, pay attention to changes of intonation. When the professor says, you know, or sometimes, you know that's important, you know that's important. He makes stress here to make the students pay attention. But when he says, you know, like, so, 50-50, I'm not sure about it, okay? And how he speak like confidently about the theory, or he speaks, it might be right, it might be right. So using might and would and all of this represents probability. So yeah, he's not sure about it. Okay. So the professor intonation, and he changes in the intonation. That's important to understand why he changes. What's the point behind it? So you will understand changing intonation in its content. So in its content, he wants to encourage the students to answer the question himself. So he said, "You answer me. What do you think? What do you think?" So he said, "What do you think?" He encourages the student to answer the question, to continue to go on answering this question. Like in, what do you think about this and this? He opens a new question for students to think about the topic that he's gonna talk about. Changing in intonation. Pay attention to the lecturer or the speaker personal opinion. At the end, at the last second of the lecture, the lecturer or the speaker may say, and in my opinion, I think this theory needs a lot of explanation. Okay, what is the author's opinion about this theory? He's confident about this theory. He thinks this theory needs more explanation, or blah blah blah. So you can say, okay, he believes that this theory need more explanation to be like correct or to be precise. Okay. In my opinion, I think this is not correct. Boom, and end of the discussion. If you didn't get this, if you missed this last point, last sentence in the last second, you missed a point. That's why I told you to listen, pay attention, care, with care and passion, wants to know and understand fully, all of you, on the topic. And sometimes you have to know what the students is going to do next after dialogue with a professor, with a librarian, with a clerk, with whoever. He will take an action. So what this action is going to be? He will get a form and fill the form. He will do the assignments as soon as he goes home, or what he's gonna do? He will do nothing. He will go to the cafeteria, he will meet a friend, he will discuss something. So whatever he was gonna do, you have to know, oh, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna send the email right away after I finish with you. So what's he gonna do? He will send an email. Okay? So you have to pay attention. What is the next action of the students that's in the conversation? That comes in the last sentence in the conversation. And you have to pay attention to the professor's opinion about this theory if the professor will say his own opinion. And that comes in the last sentence, in the last seconds in the lecture. So you have to pay attention from the beginning to the end. What does it mean? Does mean if I have noise around me, if someone answering the speaking question while I'm still in the listening question, I will not be distracted. And to encourage you to not be distracted, you have the level of the volume. Increase the level of the volume to the max if you want. To the max until you feel like you are in the situation. You engage in this environment. You dive with him to the ocean. You travel with him to the space. You do this. Listen and fill your world, your mind, your ear, your everything in you, your heart, about these sentences. I'm so excited to know about. If you found interest about this topic, about talking about ants, I don't care. But in the exam, in order to pass this exam once and forever, you have to care. You have to care. I promise you, you have to care. This is what I had. I had so depressed time, And sometimes I didn't want to study, and my listening section was my window. Like, okay, I don't want to feel bad at the end of the day not doing anything with TOEFL, so I'm gonna listen to a lecture. Okay, listen to it. Sometimes I train myself just to listen because I'm too lazy to take notes. So I'm just gonna listen to this lectures and this article or this conversation without taking notes, and I'm trying to answer them and check my understanding, and if I had, like, if I was able to comprehend and store this information in my mind. And sometimes I pass, other times I'm just listening to know how they speak or how they pronounce specific words. So sometimes I use this listening part for many things other than only listening and answer the question. I used it for reading. So when I got excited about something in the lecture, I go and read it slowly so I can absorb more information, get more vocabulary, gain more strategies, how we make transition between idea and idea. Okay, be smart, and you have free speaking, like, templates you have here, or speaking performance. You can just listen to this and read this. You imitate, you're shadowing him saying these words in this way. So I use this listening section in many things, as I told you, and I loved it, and it was my window to release from the depression. I go to the car, I can't read, I can't practice reading, and I can't practice writing, but I can listen to a lecture in the in in the car. So I just turn on a lecture or something and listen and try to summarize it, speaking slowly, summarizing, talking about this, one, two, three, four. Sometimes I do that. That's practicing. That's you find your something interest about it. Okay? And sometimes you find yourself, wow, this I didn't know about that. How the flakes of the snow like form, and how they fall down. What's going on about the snow? Okay, I listen. I shared it with my wife. Sometimes I shared it with my friends, and sometimes in like a sarcastic way, like, what I'm learning, what I'm reading. Like, do you think I'm read about um a, a weird fish? This weird fish lives in the ocean and they eats whatever, rocks and debris. Okay, wow, that's interesting. Okay, that's new for me. So I read it. Sometimes I share it. Like, I'm so depressed, man. You know that I read about tiger, and why tiger has lines or dots, and why tiger had lines, and the leopard has dots, or vice versa. I don't know. Like, why this happen, and what is the development, and sometimes I'm so frustrated. This is what I'm listening. I should listen to something about mechanism of action, and give me drug interaction, and give me all this kind of academic sophisticated things that will help me in the future, providing good advice um, to my clients or my patients. But now I'm in a level to get interest in this world, to open my mind for this world. And when I do this, I will pass the TOEFL. And then I don't have to talk about it anymore. But promise me, sometimes you'll find interested to tell this story to many people in many generations to come. Okay? So, how to take notes? First, focus on the story, listen it. Listen to the story, and try to understand what is going on. Who is meeting who? The teacher in which class? It's in a biology class. So first of all, Listen to a lecture in a biology class. I say here biology, the first word. Why I say biology? It will give me nothing. I will not answer a question why I say biology class. But remember, when you say biology and write it down, you direct your mind, your attention unintentionally to focus on biology issues. So, okay, vocabulary comes biology, understanding biology, okay, everything biology. Listen to a lecture in literature class. Okay, he's talking about art, cinema, dancing, singing, whatever. Okay, I'm gonna history class. He's talking about an old story, facts and theories. Okay, so when you listen, whatever he says, biology class, like astronomy class, so that will direct you where to focus and what to focus on. So type it. I am in which class right now? You know, when you go to, you have your schedule. I have here biochemistry, and then I'm gonna finish biochemistry. I will go to pharmacognosy, and then medicinal chemistry. So I have three classes, different classes. I'm gonna go through them today. So you have the schedule, you have written them down, and go here. I'm in the literature class. Literature, everything about boom, singing, whatever. I'm in biology class. Okay, go for it. History, well, and etc. You find yourself. So, title, which class you are in. Second, the teacher sometimes, or the speaker, like he wants to confuse you because it's still language, so he play with language. He say, we learned about blah 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 in the previous class, and today we're gonna talk about boom. So you find the question, what is the teacher talking about? You say, oh, he's talking about blah blah blah. No, that was the previous class, but today we're gonna talk about boom. So he's talking about boom. Okay, so focus, pay attention. What is going on? What is going on with the lecture? All right? I hope this video helps you. If you have any concerns, questions, anything you need help with, I can help with I can help you sharing my story. I have a lot of things. I had this exam in 2 years. I can't tell everything, or I can't remember everything. I didn't like make notes on this for a while and practiced what to do. I'm just saying this like spontaneously, and like I'm saying or sharing what I remember. So if you have a question, just write it down in the comments. Maybe another student will help you answering this question. Maybe I will read this question. I will try to share it according to my experience and how did I pass. I will tell you about this strategy, and I'm sure that you will pass soon. Also, I'm not invented these strategies. I found them a lot on YouTube. I found them a lot on reading articles about how to pass TOEFL, how to pass this question, and I practiced them a lot until I passed the exam, and I'm sharing them with you. So you might find this one repeated idea, some of them, okay, accept it and practice. That means this idea is very helpful and meaningful. Do it. You may say, hey, this is new for me, this is new idea, this is new point of view. Okay, that's good. Now you have another point of view. Go for it, engage with it, do it, and you will pass soon. And please, if you like this video and wants more, just like, share, and subscribe. Be active sharing to help yourself and to help others to pass this exam. Thank you and good luck and God be with you.